The next important lesson is the exceptions to certain rules. We'll work on those exceptions now. Exceptions to, for example, we'll start with exceptions to rule number 1. Rule number 1 was that when you have a long vowel in the middle of a word or at the end of the word, it is always a long vowel. That was the rule number 1. That is correct. However, here's the exception. If long vowel letter is in the middle of the word, with a short vowel on it, then it is treated as a letter. Page 5 of the white book has the examples of this. So if a long vowel letter is in the middle of a word with a short vowel on it, then it is treated as a letter. So here's the example. You have the word this word. Now you have alif in the middle, so it is a long vowel. The long vowel letter is in the middle of the word. It's a long vowel. But then you see a fatha on it. With a fatha on it, this means with the short vowel on it right here, then it is treated as a letter. Now this alif becomes a letter. It is not a long vowel anymore. It should be treated as a letter. And now because this has become a letter, this alif has become a letter, this letter has lost its vowel. So we have to put something on it. It could be, for example, we use fatha. So now this fatha is the vowel for this letter. This fatha is the vowel for this alif, which has become a letter now. And then lam will also need something. Lam probably had something before. Let's use it like that. So this was the original word, sala, sala, but now it becomes sa'ala, sa'ala, sala versus sa'ala, sa'ala. You notice that now I have to pronounce this letter because this long vowel letter has a short vowel on it. It could be fatha, kasra, dhamma, any of them, and now it needs to be read. And its sound will be sound of alif. Similarly, if you had a vowel and or ya, for example, the word right here, this vowel, if you have a fatha on it, and this is a word from Quran, it becomes was, wasa, was, wasa. This vowel has to be pronounced. It's a long vowel letter. It's in the middle of the word. It was a long vowel, but then because it has a short vowel on it, it becomes it is treated as a letter, so you have to pronounce it. The sound of vowel is V or W, so it will have to be pronounced, and so that's why we will read it as was, wasa, was, wasa. So you see alif in the middle of the word with a short vowel, you see vaw with a short vowel. Similarly, if ya comes in there, ya is treated with the ya sound, so it will have it will also be treated as a letter. So inshallah this rule makes sense. This was the general rule, but if the exception is that if the letter, the long vowel letter gets a short vowel on it, then it should be treated as a letter and should be read as a letter. There is a second and last exception for the Arabic 2 level. That is that if the long vowel letter is in the middle of a word and it has a sukoon is the rule number 2, short vowel with the long vowel with the short vowel on it is this exception. Another exception is if two long vowel letters come next to each other, if two long vowel letters come next to each other, in a word, first one will act as letter, and the second one will become its vowel. So if you have alif with waw, or waw with ya, or ya with alif, ya with alif, you will or any other combination such as alif with ya, waw with alif, or ya with waw. In all these cases, the first letter will be treated as a letter, and second letter will be treated as a vowel. This is regardless of if this is the first letter of the whole word or there is something before it and after it. This first long vowel letter will be treated as a letter, second one will be treated as a vowel. So this will become oo, alif with two sounds of vowel, oo. This one will be a letter and this will be long vowel, so this will become V or WEE, whichever one you choose. Similarly, this one, ya is the letter, alif is the long vowel, so this becomes YAA, ya. This one here, alif is the letter, ya is the long vowel, becomes E sound. Waw with alif, same thing, waw is the letter, alif is the long vowel, becomes wa. Ya is the letter, waw is the long vowel, U. So, hopefully you get the hang of it. We do a practice of these words because they are not very easily available in both books. So I made a list of them, and we will study them. Together as a group, using those pages, how to read these words. But general rule is, first letter, when you have a situation like this, first letter will become letter, second letter will become long vowel. That is the exception to this rule, rule number 1. Now let us look at the exception to rule number 10, ta marbuta. We had learned that in tanween, the last letter, like in a ban, when you have two fatha, the alif at the end is needed, it is written, but it is not pronounced. It's ignored, it's not used. Similarly, amaran, so this alif is not pronounced, but it's always there in Quran, it's always written there. So that alif, the two fatha alif is there, but it is not used. However, if the last letter of a word is ta marbuta or hamza, is ta marbuta or hamza, you will put the two fatha on them, but they will not be pronounced. They will not, you will pronounce them as tan and an, but you don't need the alif at the end. Alif is not needed in these cases. So page 44 of your green book has some words which use this situation. So you will see ta marbuta and hamza at the last letter, as the last letter with two fathas, but no alif will be seen next to it, because these two letters are exception to this situation. No other letters have this distinction. Also, two kasra, two dhamma, that rule is same for all letters. So that rule has no exception whatsoever. That rule is simple, straight, there's no complication about it. these two fatha rule did. So I want to explain this to you so that you know the exception to this rule as well. And with that, you now know the important applications of couple of rules, and you know the exceptions to certain rules, and that should help you in reading the words in Arabic, inshallah.